Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. We have another very exciting one today with one of our killer members, Win. Gosh, how long have you been a part of the team now for?
Do you know, I actually had to look that up, Reese, because there was a part of me that knew you were going to ask me this question. So we've been social media friends since I think December 2021.
Wow.
And I signed up for my first cycle of the program 20th of June 2021.
2021. For context, we're now in 2025. So over
2025.
4 years.
And I think prior to that, we'd seen each other in the gym occasionally. We'd used to
Yeah, of
bump into
course.
each other at K2, and yeah, so quite a while.
So I'm curious, what made you stay a member for 4 years and counting?
A member of Smart Body and Performance. Well, okay,
Absolutely.
so the first stint, I think I have to add a bit of context. So I'd seen you in the gym, and I'd seen you working
Yes.
with clients like on in person.
Yeah.
And the first thing that intrigued me was, first of all, the relationship that you had with the clients that were in the gym. I enjoyed watching you work, your interactions
Oh,
with the
bless.
clients. And the second thing was just how young you were. You know, I was like, there's no way that he can know all the things he knows. So fast forward, we got to know each other a little bit, and I started seeing your social media content and the information that you were dropping. And it was a period in my life where, I'd been quite successful in my own weight loss journey to that point.
Yeah.
And there were lots of things working, but there were things that I wanted to improve. And I just thought, why not?
Yeah.
So we signed up June
Amazing.
2021 based
Wow.
on just those things that I had initially seen.
Yeah, absolutely. And the crazy thing is, 3 months ago, you signed up for like another 16 odd months, right? Which is just insane.
Absolutely, absolutely insane. But I think what that is, Reese, is it's a testimony to the results that I gained through Smart Body and Performance. There's been a lot of changes in my life, and I've had a lot
Mm.
of successes with you. I think it's fair to say I know how this works. I'm so sorry. I should have put that on
No, don't be
mute.
silly.
I don't know. Um, I have had my own successes, and I think what I wanted to talk about, or what I wanted to mention today, is on a lot of your social media channels, a lot of your clients have talked about the physical transformation, right? Which has been
Absolutely.
absolutely incredible. And I knew I was going to get that with you and your team, without a doubt. But what has been an absolute game changer for me has been the mental transformation, the productivity
Mm.
gains. If I tell you how I am absolutely flying career-wise, and I 100% put it down to the things that I've learned with you and your team, it's
Wow.
no money can buy that. You can't,
Oh,
that's
bless
not
you.
something that you can buy, 100%.
Bloody goosebumps. Look at that. Wow, bless you. And the thing to consider as well is it's come from your hard work. Like you're the one waking up every day, putting the work ethic in. And one thing that's always really impressed me about you is just how much you inspire other people. And I don't even think you realize just how much you do. Other people in the community will look at you in the group, but also look at like, because I know you post a lot of your journey on social media too. They'll look at that and go, oh my God, not only is she such amazing shape, like her mindset is insane. Like I'm so motivated watching Win stuff. So does that feel quite good knowing that you're
Oh,
inspiring so many other
it
people?
feels so great. And I think the only thing that I want to be able to put across, especially through my social media, is that if I can do it, anybody can do it. It is just about so there's definitely things that I gain from being part of your community, because that's what it is. It is the
Absolutely.
community that I've got like-minded people that I can engage with. It's the education that I get from the coaches. My direct access to you, I don't think there has ever been a moment or a time where you
Yes.
have not been accessible under any circumstances. I can message you, and you always have time for the people that are, that you care about. And I feel like you care
Absolutely.
about each and every one of us as
100%.
individuals, which
Yeah.
is amazing.
Absolutely. There's never going to be a day in my entire life where I will not have the time for it. It's why I do it. I love it so much. Like, if someone sent me a message, I would literally like, I'm big on productivity, but I'll drop all my bloody pens and paper just to get back to a WhatsApp because for me, that's the most important part. But I'm really glad that that's how we feel too. And if we was to rewind, right? Because I know you've been a part of the team for over 4 years, still got like 16 months left and counting. What made you originally join the team? What kind of space was you in physically, mentally, that made you feel like you wanted change?
So, like I said, I felt like I'd done a lot of the journey on my own. What was I looking for? I think part of the stuff that you were advertising, I wanted to be around women of my age. I wanted to see what was possible. Um, and I remember like our first discovery call. I was like, Reese, I'm old. This is my background. I work long hours. I have a seriously challenging job. I have young children. I have a home to maintain. Add to this menopause, and I fully expected you to come back and say, that's a lot to work with, and maybe we might not be the right fit. I honestly wanted to put you to the test because I just thought there's no ways that somebody that's as young as you would have the capacity. I thought I was unique,
Yeah, of
essentially. I
course,
thought, you've not
absolutely.
come across anybody like me before. You're not going to be able to help me. And this is where you're going to say, like, really sorry, but, you're right. We can't help you.
Yeah,
But you were like, absolutely game on.
yes,
Absolutely
yeah,
game on.
of course. And one thing that I say to women all the time because our average age on the program now is 35 to 55. That's kind of like the average. We have some older, some younger, but our average is 35 to 55. And one thing I always say is you're unique, but not special. And I mean it with
I
kindness,
love that.
right?
I saw that on a social media post one of the days, and it was like, you
Absolutely.
are unique and not special. Absolutely love
Of
that.
course, because some people think, oh, I've got like a broken body or a special, unique situation, and it just doesn't work for me. So I think sometimes when people hear it like that, and it's like, if members like yourself have absolutely crushed it with the menopause, the crazy work hours, and obviously that I suppose lack of self belief to go, is this possible for me? Like, I've got this long list of struggles. Like, can I do this thing? It's like if members like yourself, if members like Paula lose 110 pounds with, a chronic liver illness, or Megan with PCOS and
Crazy.
underactive
It's
thyroid, like,
crazy.
it's insane. It's like, if they can do it, is there a logistical reason why you can't too? And I think sometimes it makes people feel safe going, I am unique, but I
Absolutely.
can do it too.
Absolutely. And I think, going back to, asking me why. So up to that point, my weight loss journey had been managing my nutrition and doing the things that I knew how to do. What was
Yeah,
that? That was cardio, that was fitness classes, that was Zumba. Those were the things that I enjoyed, and it got me to a point, right? Um, I also ran. I used to run a lot, but as you get older, the body challenges you. I had knee issues. And the point that I joined you, I didn't know anything about weight training, about lifting weights, but I knew that that was the journey that I had to go on to get stronger because
of course.
cardio was no longer doing it for me.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to see if there was a better way, essentially.
Absolutely, and there's another saying is what got us here won't get us there, right? So oftentimes we'll start our weight loss journey and we'll be super successful with things like the cardio, and sometimes it can be, I suppose, to a degree, unsustainable routes or routes that maybe aren't quote unquote the most productive way to do it. But it works, right? And then you do
Yeah.
get to that point where that plateau hits, and it's like, okay, now I need to be more methodical with how I now change things. Maybe I need to do more strength training. Maybe I need to focus on my protein more. It wasn't as much of an issue before, but now I'm hitting that roadblock or that plateau. I know this needs to be, I suppose, having a little bit more emphasis on. Is that kind of like the kind of catch 22 you found yourself in?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that was, one thing that struck me is that if you want a different result, you've got to change things up and
Yeah.
do things differently. And I think, representative of every other woman out there. I would go into a gym but not want to own my space in the
Mm.
weight section, not understanding what to do. And this was the other concern, right? Because you weren't going to be there to hold my hand in person
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the
of
gym
course.
setting. Um, but you and the team armed me with the tools, the education, form, the master classes. I think I've been to everyone bar one.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And that is literally my obsession now. I want to learn as much as I can. I want to progress as much as I can. And what's been the driving force for me is seeing my body change and seeing what I'm capable of has just been incredible and so
Absolutely.
empowering.
And it's I say scary. It's exciting because the sky's the limit with your potential. Like there's not a single thing that we can go. When should we try this? And you go, oh, I don't know. It's like fuck yeah, like, let's go. I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna show you how bloody good I can do it as well, right?
100%, 100%. You know, it's
That's
it's so
amazing.
motivating. And in my first stint, I want to say we had massive change. I think my because you talk about what are your short-term goals or what were your goals in
Yes.
that cycle, and I think for me in that particular cycle was I need to get back down to a manageable weight. So it was
Yeah.
weight loss focused, and we achieved that 100% using the strength training.
Yes.
This next cycle, I was like, okay, Reese, I've seen it all happen. I've lost the weight. I'm kind of where I need to be now. What else is possible? And
Yeah.
you were like, I take on the challenge. Let's go. Let's blow it.
Yeah. Of course.
And oh my goodness, when I walk past the mirror and I catch my biceps, I'm like, what? And I
Yes.
just want more. I just want
Yeah. Of
more. It's
course.
insane.
I love that. So, and that's some of the best feelings. Like when you maybe put on a dress that you haven't tried on for a while and you go, oh wow, like this looks great. Or you just walk past the mirror and you like double take, like, oh my God, like you end up tensing the old arms in the mirror. It's such a great feeling, right? And especially when you've worked so hard from it. The thing I think that people who haven't experienced it think it's going to be is that I look great. But I can imagine when you look in the mirror, the first thought is, wow, I look great. But the second thought is, this represents so much more than what it looks like. Like when I see the bicep pop in the mirror, it's like I see how hard I've worked, I see how great I feel, I see how mentally resilient
Oh,
I've become.
100%, 100%. And like you said, it is about the work that I put in. Um, it's not easy. It's not easy. If
Of
you're going to
course.
commit and to do it for yourself, you've got to have the discipline to follow through.
Yeah,
100%. And I remain wholly committed.
absolutely.
It is an investment, you know, but I promise you I didn't have to think twice and I would make it happen again. And I fully expect that I'm going to be a lifetime member of Smart Body Performance. I don't anticipate ever being kicked off your roster list.
And
I
never
want to
will
be a
you.
client forever.
That's amazing. Oh well, that gives me goosebumps alone. That does as well. But and I think that's just again a testament to you and just how hard you're willing to work and how committed you are to being your best self because it's difficult. And like you say, it's not easy. And oftentimes I'll speak to new members and they go, "This sounds great. Like, what's the catch? I feel like something's coming because you're saying all these things can happen." I'm like, the catch is it ain't easy. Like, I won't lie to you. Like, we're
Right.
gonna make you work hard, right? And I'm not saying you're gonna come straight in and go, start drowning in too much. Like, we'll take it easy and build you up. But if we want to get the 1% physique, you need the 1% work ethic, and that ain't easy, right?
Absolutely. But that's what sets us apart.
Yeah.
And it's a work ethic that I 100% subscribe to throughout
Mm,
many areas in my life. And just again, another reason why I think you and I resonate. You have, such a great mindset,
thank you.
and work ethic and compassion and passion for what you do. Um, I literally haven't, it's why I think you are so successful and why I think you will continue to be successful.
Thank you.
Um, and just, yes, I only wish good things for you, Reese.
Oh,
You
bless
deserve
you.
everything that comes your way,
Well, I
100%.
tell you what, as a team together, we'll both see those things happening, right? Because it's exactly the same for yourself. You've been such a rock star in the community as well, and something that I think is massive. And like you said, you've been at every single event. We obviously have our next one in Marbella, which is going to be, taking the events to the next level, which is super exciting. And I guess, was it an intention to inspire so many people? Or do you feel like it's just a byproduct of what the person I guess you've become?
That's like really, it wasn't intentional. For
Mm,
me, starting up an Instagram account was purely for accountability to myself.
Yeah,
and to motivate myself and to show myself in the dark and difficult days where I've come from, and
absolutely.
where I don't want to go back to. Um, I think I've always been like a really positive person, and I don't know if it's a Capricorn trait. I mean, but I find like I have a real mental resilience.
Absolutely.
Um, and I just like to apply that to every area of my life. I feel I am strong, I am committed, I'm dedicated. But I think with your help and the help of the team, I've gone a hundredfold. I am so super, and I'm also not the kind of person to brag, but if I started with the company that I'm in 3 years ago. The first week that I landed in the role, I was horrified. I was just like, I don't know what I've signed up for. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
This is too much pressure and I can't cope. But the tools that I learned with, your system, making sure I get my rest, making sure I get out for my walk and my steps, the clarity and the productivity and the planning. I think my success in my role has even surprised our executive team. My boss
Wow.
has just been like, wow, you are absolutely flying. And we're so proud of everything that you've achieved. And we want to acknowledge that. And
Look
that
at that.
just, the fire in my belly continues. Like from a professional perspective, that drives, if I'm happy here and I'm killing it in the gym, I
They do
mean,
this, right? They literally
I'm
interlink
not
so well.
stopping. It's just like, where does this, what else can I achieve, right?
100%.
What
I
else
think
can I achieve?
we don't see the domino effect in its full force until it happens. And we work with a lot of people like yourself who are quite high performing and motivated and career driven. And we often say, and most people say to us as well, is that everything's in an okay place, but fitness is the last piece of the puzzle. And I go, when you
Yeah.
complete that last piece of the puzzle, watch everything else just do this. Because the knock-on effects are better relationships, more energy, better
I
libido,
know.
more career progression. Just because if you wake up every day, you feel like you can take on the fucking world and you think I'm strong, I'm powerful, I'm
100%.
confident.
I'm badass every morning. I mean, the girls in the office are like, you get up at like 4 to go to the gym. I'm like, yes, because my day is done. I'm set up. Anything
Yeah,
else, I can face anything else that comes along. So
absolutely.
100%
It's almost
lifestyle.
like it builds that callus on your mind, right?
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
amazing. So I suppose in a nutshell, what results would you say you've seen then? I know we've kind of like touched on some of the results that we've seen so far, but if you was to kind of, I suppose, point out the main ones for you, what have you seen over the last, wow, four odd years being a part of the program, results wise?
So the results for me, I mean, there's a few ways of looking at it. The first one being, it's not about the weight.
Yeah,
Okay. You have to love yourself before you start the journey, because
of
I
course.
was 22 stone and now I'm half my body weight, but I'm still the same person. So I think it's
Absolutely.
important to like address the issues that you are going in with. Um, for me, the most major results is now I don't focus on the weight. It's how I feel. It's the inch loss. It's the way my body has changed. And the interesting thing for me is, and I actually said this to Chloe when I did the cycle in 2021, when I look at my 2021 pics when I ended, and I look at where I am now, my body is different. So it's insane to me
Yeah.
how that's even possible. How you can actually control how your body transforms just by
Oh,
tweaking nutrition, or tweaking the way that you live.
absolutely.
So the first focus was on diet and nutrition, and maybe just a program in the gym that was getting us stronger.
Of
But
course.
the focus now has been stronger back, and it's just incredible. My
Quality of
shape
life.
is
Yeah.
is completely different.
Of course. And I mean, I guess like, to put it into perspective for those listening, being at 22 stone to now around 9 stone is absolutely incredible. Like it's unfathomable for most people. So like, how do you feel your life is different day to day, from the energy to walking up the stairs and feeling confident and comfortable to knee and ankle pain potentially? Like, how do you feel like your quality of life has changed now you're what, 13 stone less?
I mean, it was life changing, and that was actually sort of the driver for me. So what happened was at my heaviest, I was leading a function in Chile. We were hosting a rooftop event on the 36th floor of a beautiful hotel in a gorgeous environment, and I was that heavyweight, yeah, touching on 22 stone, and they had a power cut. And I was responsible for 50, 60 guests up on the 36th floor, having to coordinate with hotel staff. I thought I was going to die. I thought I was going to die. And in that moment, in the stairwell, that was my light bulb moment. And I thought, if you want to be here for your kids, if you want to continue doing what you love doing for work, this is your wake up call. Something's got to change. No more
Wow.
excuses. So absolutely, it's life changing. You know, I'm healthier, I'm fitter than I was in my 20s. Um,
Absolutely.
Most people don't recognize me. You do change. Please understand that you will
Yeah,
change and that you have to reconcile that.
of course.
Um, I'm still the same person, but obviously, yes, I'm over half my body weight and but I'm still the same win.
Of course.
And
And I say
I
that
love
to
myself now as much as I did when I was
you're
22
right.
stone.
Yeah, absolutely. I always say to people, you're like, I suppose without getting too like into it, you're almost like the same soul. You just have to like a almost like a snake will shed its skin. You've just got to create
A
a new
different, I have
identity.
a different vehicle. I have a different vehicle
Absolutely. Yeah.
for the last few decades of my life. I'm in
Absolutely.
tip-top condition.
Of course. And all you've done is you've become Win 2.0. You know, Win 1.0 was great, but now, you're inspiring people. You feel amazing. You're
Yeah.
confident. You're looking after, because like you said, you got the vehicle and now you're looking after your vehicle every day. So you have longevity, inspiring kids and family. So like you're just elevating every day. And if every day you get 1% better, I say if you put it into perspective, if you get 1% better, that's 365% better over a year. That's 3.5 times. Like it's,
Absolutely. And you know, the other thing is also having the support because I'm human. I have down
mm,
days. I have days when I cannot meet every single deliverable that is set for me. And I'm a perfectionist, and I know that that's not a word that we like to use, but I absolutely hate it when I don't meet the tasks and
yeah.
you know that I've set. But getting 1% better at flipping my mindset and reframing bad thoughts and understanding that it's a bad day, not a bad life. You know,
Absolutely.
one bad meal doesn't mean that I have to spiral out of control because make no mistake, this lifestyle has no end date. You know, I don't, it's not a
There's
21
no
day fix.
expiry.
It's
Yeah.
not a 7 day fix. This is now my life. So,
Absolutely.
and I'm like you. I love food. I love
Yeah, yeah.
socializing. I get to do all of that and still look and feel my best, which is just
And that's so
incredible.
important. Like, I loved how you touched on you're still human. Like, I think even from my perspective, people will go almost like, oh, it's easy for you. You know, you're a coach. It's like, yeah, I'm human though. Like on Saturday, for instance, I finished a football game. There was no social event or anything, but I had a couple glasses of wine. I just wanted it. I just fancied it. And I, worked hard during the day, played 90 minutes of football. My legs were killing me. And I thought, I just kind of fancy it and I'm human and I'm allowed to. So I'm going to have it. And I woke up the next day and I went to the gym and I felt fine, right? It's like everyone has their times where they want to have downtime and enjoy yourself, right? But I think that's the sustainability element of a transformation. If you cut out everything you love, it's
100%
short
has
fixed.
to be sustainable and you know, we only get this one life, right? And it's here for us to
Yes.
enjoy and live to the fullest. And we have people who love us and we want to make memories and I can do all of those things. It just so happens that now I get to do all of that and actually wear a bikini. So
Yeah,
I'm I'm
absolutely.
I'm stoked.
100%. I had a chat with somebody yesterday, and they were like, they joined a team. I wanted to do it like 6 months ago. I just had so many social events, and I didn't want to have to give them up. I'm like, you never would have to. It's not about giving up social events. It's just learning how to control them. The only difference in 6 months later is you're going to go to the same social events you would have gone on to. You'll just be the first one jumping in the photos as opposed to avoiding them because you feel so freaking damn good. Which means you've got the memories to look
Exactly.
back on in 20 years' time when you're opening the photo album, going, "Oh, I remember that night. That was amazing. Like I got so many memories." As opposed to looking at it at an empty square because you didn't want to get in a photo, right? And it's little things like that that we, look
That
at the
was
bigger
that
picture.
was it's funny you say that because literally I don't think I've got any photographs of myself. Very few, very few.
Yeah,
Up until you start feeling good about yourself, which is
of
sad
course.
because
Of course it
those
is.
are memories that I created with my kids. But I'm making up for it now.
No, absolutely you are. Yeah, absolutely you are. And something else you touched on that's such an important lesson for those listening, so valuable, is that there's no end date. And that's why I despise the likes of your Slimming Worlds and Weight Watchers and 8 week challenges. And transparently, I used to do 8 week challenges back in the day because I thought at the time they were great and you learn from experience. And at the time I thought 8 week challenge would be great because people fired up. But then after 8 weeks, they're like, I don't have new habits. I'm by myself now. I don't know what to do. I'm scared. I'm back to square one. And it's just an endless cycle. So, that's why we have, minimum commitments on our program, because if we're actually in this for the right reasons, we want to change people's lives, we can't do it in
100%.
8 weeks. Yeah, we're good. We're not that good. We can't do it in
No.
8 weeks, right?
And I think that's something that you touched on, and I think that's something sort of worth mentioning, is up to the point when I joined the program, I was 100% slave to every single short-term slimming world.
Yeah.
There wasn't a diet that was out there that I hadn't tried,
Yeah. Yeah.
literally. And I think what I would say to anybody, considering joining the program, who sort of says, the outlay and the commitment. Think about what you spent previously on all those diets and meal plans and having meals delivered. And, it's just, I've spent an absolute fortune. I've
Of
made so many
course.
people rich. Um, just don't do it. Invest in
Absolutely.
yourself. It's the best thing that you could ever do. You get a money back guarantee and you are guaranteed results. I'm sorry, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer.
Absolutely. Of course. And the thing is though, I do understand it. People that haven't been exposed to conversations like this that would look at like a Slimming World ad, they'll see it and it's like, you will achieve this. And like, oh my God, that's what I want. That sounds great. And sometimes when they haven't been exposed to what's right, it's difficult then because they don't understand. But when they have
It's
been
an
exposed, it's then a decision, right?
it's an education and it's something that I had to learn for myself.
Yeah,
100% I wanted the quick fixes. 100%.
of course.
I was prepared to pay anything to go through anything. But, and this is where the education comes in, right? It's now I understand nutrition. I know what food fuels my body. I know what food works with my body. Um, I know what macros mean. You can make better choices when you're informed. And so the
Absolutely.
educational piece for the
I
program
couldn't agree
is
more.
is is 100% also on
Of
point.
course. And I'm curious, ballpark figure, how much do you reckon you've spent on fad diets in the past? I find it really interesting because so many people are in the same boat as you as well.
You want to know, Reese?
Go
I
on,
mean,
shoot.
really, I don't think I've ever sat down and calculated it, but or I would say 5 grand more.
Wow. Jesus
And
Christ.
that's not just, I'm not talking about Slimming World because then that's like a membership, but all the things that you've
Yeah.
got to buy, the books, the candy, the free food, the Weight
Yeah.
Watchers membership. I've tried diet shakes, Herbalife, pills. I mean, I know we don't want a product drop, but pills,
Yeah, no, of
cabin
course. Yeah,
food,
yeah,
Heart Foundation diet. I've done it. I've done it all. I've done it all.
yeah. Of
And
course.
you pay, but you're paying over and over with no end result to show for it. To be fair, no, I suppose that's a little bit unfair. 100% I lost the weight.
Yeah,
100% I
yeah.
lost the weight. Did I keep it off? No.
And that's the
I'm
percentage
sitting
of
in front of you now
92%.
since, what did we say,
2021.
2021? It's now 20, but I've kept this weight off and wholly attributed, since I joined the program. It's been
Absolutely.
over 10 years, but since 2021, this has been my easiest journey because
Wow.
um, it's second nature now. I don't have to think about it, and I have access to all the information that I need in the apps, in your, community sections. If I have a
Of course.
question, if I'm stuck,
Absolutely. And
100%.
that's
Why?
insane. When you put it into perspective, 5,000, 10 years on every diet under the sun. And like I said at the time, you weren't exposed to what's right. So you're just doing what you thought you could do, because it's so easy for someone in fitness to say, oh, that's crap. Why are you doing that? But it's like, you get it because you're exposed to it. If this was
Yeah.
a different industry that I'm looking at, say tech industry, and I got these fad tech solutions, random example, right? I wouldn't know the difference to if it's a good thing or a bad thing. But if I learn the difference from someone like a podcast like this, in this tech industry example, and I now know that these things are scams, but I try to do the same thing again, then it becomes a decision that I just want a quick fix and not dedicated to the long term, change, right?
Absolutely. And to be fair, it's not only on the quick fixes on the nutritional side, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah,
mean, I bought
absolutely.
into, all the videos that you could get way back in the day and the waist slimmers and get a flatter stomach without
Absolutely.
doing anything. I bought them all. I bought them all.
Of course, and you end up there. I actually bought a waist trainer not too long ago, just to I was creating some content online, and I was putting the waist trainer on to go. There's three good uses for a waist trainer. If you're going to a fancy dress party and you want to be a clown, if you're cold and you want to set it on fire, or if you just wanted to chuck 30 quid in a bin. I can't remember the last one, but
Oh
again,
my
I get it.
God.
People don't understand because they haven't been exposed to what's different, but like I say, when you do educate yourself, it then becomes a decision of, okay, I now know. So like, it's a decision
Yeah.
now. And one thing that I always say to people is try to not have, and this is maybe a takeaway for people listening, try not to have too many voices when it comes to like learning about something, because then the confliction and the overwhelm becomes insane, right? If you can find 2, 3 people online that you feel like you can trust, and you've done some research into said person, you think, okay, I feel like I can trust I suppose the education from said person. That could be someone completely different, or it could be us, it could be anyone. If you trust them, try to block out the noise and trust one voice, or maybe 2, 3 voices, because that way it's not conflicting or overwhelming. Because at the end of the day, everyone online, a lot of them talk a lot of shit.
Yeah. No, and I think that's another key point. And absolutely, you've always sort of stood by, um, do your research. You're not
Yeah.
saying come to me because I'm the best. Absolutely, do your research. And
Yeah,
and Google is amazing. I mean, you said
absolutely.
on a few of your social media posts, if you want to find out about how to do an exercise, but it is doing your own research and investigating. And actually, I think it does help if you have somebody that you can connect on some sort of level with. And I feel
Yeah.
I have that with you, and I know your wonderful family and your beautiful family, and I know that your work ethic and your just
Thank
everything aligns to my way of
Yeah.
thinking. And so I absolutely wholeheartedly trust the system. And beyond trust, you've proven that you can deliver. I mean, you cannot argue with results. This is not me
Yeah.
saying Reese is good at what he does. Just look at the results. That's enough for me.
I think you're so right in research as well. And I say to people, before you ever even think about raising your hand to potentially look at working with us, do your research first, because we're not great for everyone. There is personalities that there is other people that might be better, right? And that's why we now only work with women. We used to work with obviously anyone really, but we only work with women now because we know the system that women are hit with all these fad diets and things hitting them from every which direction. I know you obviously know my mom, and she was struggling with fad diets for years, seeing everything under the sun, and I witnessed it firsthand. And we go, right, we can get women amazing results. We know, especially over the age of 35, they're targeted with ads from all of these shithouse companies telling you to take our products and lose weight in 12 minutes, right?
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if
And
someone
it's
wants
and
to,
it's a lot for some,
yeah,
women are going out of their comfort zones, but
of
absolutely challenge
course,
yourself. Because that was me. I was like, oh, I need to find a
yeah,
female personal trainer that understands what I'm going through. But, to be fair, you called me out on my bullshit, and you were just like, well, this is where we're at. This is what we've got to work with. There's absolutely no reason you cannot achieve what you need to achieve.
yeah.
You've proven that you understand all my challenges, not specific to me. I'm not, I'm unique. I'm not special, and I just I appreciate it
Bless you.
100%.
Bless you. And I'm really curious for those listening as well. Obviously, I know you've been a member of the team for 4 years, or like I said, another like 16 odd months. What and obviously we're saying like to be a member for life, which by the way I love that. Um, what made
A
you
permanent member.
yeah, a permanent member? I love it. An absolute lifetime member. You'll be having a statue in my office soon, I tell you.
Please, I feel we need that.
Absolutely. So I guess why? You know, like you're in amazing shape. You've got great habits. You're operating every single day as an absolute machine. Like you're in such good shape and amazing routine. Why do you continue? What is it that makes you go, I still want to continue this path with the team?
I think, and maybe we don't talk about it enough, it's the community, right? So yes, I have this routine and I have an amazing job and I'm super busy. Um, but I have a community of people that I've grown to know and love. The
Mm,
friendships that I've formed, even with people that used your system or part of the team previously and have gone on to do other things, we are still connected. We still
absolutely.
share joy and tips and ideas. Um, that for me is the it's the education and it's the community because the fitness industry is evolving and you
Yeah.
are on it. Okay, so I've got my busy life and I'm doing my workouts and I've got my day job. Your day job is figuring out what's out there, what new ways, what
Yeah.
new things can we bring to the system? How can we challenge the members? So I don't have to think about
Anything.
new ways to make things exciting,
Yeah,
or
of
you
course.
doing all of that for me. Um,
Absolutely.
which I think is the reason that I will forever continue
Bless
with the
you.
program.
And you
It's the
know, the
friendship, it's the friendship, the community,
friendships,
and
yeah.
the results. Very easy.
I honestly say like the inner circle is like our little fitness family. For me, it's my
Yeah.
favorite part of the entire program. Like that's why we do live events, right? Like it's an online program, but we have in person things because it's just so fucking fun. Like I love just being a part of like a community, a team, a group of people that have so much aligned with me, which is just like I just want to keep crushing it every day, and so do these guys. So let's just bring it all
Yeah,
together, right?
yeah, yeah. 100%.
Amazing.
I guess that's what you're doing. You're bringing a group of like-minded individuals, and we're just on fire. So,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
sky's the limit.
Absolutely.
Sky's the
Couldn't
limit.
agree more. Couldn't agree more. So I suppose coming towards the end of the podcast, and you've shared so much value, and I can imagine anyone listening are probably now putting their trainers on, getting ready to do something productive because of how much you've inspired them. I guess what would you kind of advise either to anybody that's kind of sitting on the fence of the program, or to maybe yourself before we started in 2021? What would your advice be to that person?
Do you know what? Do yourself a favor and just commit. You owe it to yourself. You owe it to yourself to be your best self. What's holding
Yeah,
you back? Um,
absolutely.
I guess something that I'd never done that I've only started doing is when I started the program is keeping like a gratitude journal, which is something that you advocate, or just listing down your priorities, actually visualizing where you want to be in life and actually having a plan.
Yeah.
Just having a plan is so much easier and you help me achieve that. You set out, we talk about goals, you talk about how to set them, how they've got to be smart and measurable. Um, so I would just say, give yourself the best chance, um,
Yeah.
and go for it. Go for it.
It's amazing. That's amazing. Well, look, thank you so much for taking the time out your day to jump on and share such amazing value. Like I said, I'm bloody inspired. I might go and get my trainers on and go for a little run. It's so inspiring. So, I mean, from a personal perspective, again, thank you for continuing to allow and trust us to be a part of your journey because not only is it freaking enjoyable, but it's so inspiring watch you crush it every single day. So you should be so proud of yourself. And I know you do anyway, but you should take time to kick back and go, damn, I'm on fire. Right. So for
Thank
anyone
you.
listening, I know you share a lot of your journey. Where could they maybe see more of your content and get more inspiration from you?
So I am on Instagram. You can find me. I think my handle is at hippiechick50. And I would love, if any of your potentially, new members wanted to ask any questions. For me, social media is social. So I'm very happy to chat and share my story. I am an open book. and very happy to connect. So, anybody that wants to reach out, please do. I'd be delighted to chat.
Oh, that's so kind of you. Well, thank you so much. And like I said, I really appreciate your time, and I'll share the feedback from the podcast. I'm sure so many people will be so damn motivated.
Thank you, Reese. Thank you for
My
the
pleasure.
invitation. I really appreciate it.
Of course. And we'll speak to everybody soon. Take care.
Soon. Bye.